Transformers 1 is the best Transformers movie ever made. Hey guys, it's your boy DOOMBOT, and today we're going to be talking spoilers for Transformers 1. This movie is so dope and there's so much epic stuff that happens in this film. So leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more DOOMBOT. New mask, same task.
DOOMBOT spoiler talk. What you don't wanna know, yeah.
As you guys can see, DOOMBOT is moving up in the world. I finally got myself a proper Dr. Doom mask. So yesterday I released my Transformers 1 review and I really enjoyed it. It was my favorite animation movie I have seen this entire year. I gave it around a 6.5 to 7. Right now I'm more leaning towards the 7. I still haven't seen it for a second time, but I am planning to do that next week. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm gonna talk about the spoilers right now. But yeah, if you haven't seen the movie yet, you can watch my spoiler-free review right here. But if you have seen it or you don't care about spoilers, stick around, because this movie has a lot to cover. This movie is about the relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron, and they start off as miners. They're working as miners in the planet Cybertron, and what they have to do is they have to get some kind of energy source which makes that the planet keeps on being alive. They eventually find out robot that they're working for, I don't know if it's an Autobot or a Decepticon, the so-called good guy in the movie, played by John Hamm, Sentinel Prime. Turns out that he is actually the bad guy, and he murdered all of the previous primes so that he could be the boss and rule Cybertron. There's a lot of crazy stuff which you then later also discover, because the Sentinel Prime is also responsible for why Megatron and Optimus Prime cannot transform, because they have a cog in their chest, and before they were alive, I guess, he removed all of the cogs of all of the people. But that's actually quite a big story gap, because did he literally murder every single person before he was alive? Because that actually doesn't really make sense if I think about it, because if all of the Transformers are born with a cog, and you find out that he removed all of the cogs from all of the other Transformers, how come nobody remembers this? Or are all of the Transformers we see in this movie just like way younger than Sentinel Prime? That was a little bit of a thing that was a little bit confusing to me. But yeah, Optimus Prime, Megatron, they find a map to where supposedly the key, the MacGuffin of this movie is supposed to be. They set out to go on this adventure, and then on the way you also find out that Sentinel Prime had a deal with like some Kraken Davy Jones, like a space Davy Jones character, which doesn't get really fleshed out, but you just find out like basically like he is like the little bitch to like a really big monster. Skip all of that and just get to when you finally find out that Sentinel Prime is the bad guy, Megatron realizes that his entire life he's been lied to, because Megatron was thinking like, if I keep my head down, if I work hard in the mines and get the energon or whatever it's called, eventually I will have a nice life. But he finds out that his entire life has been a lie, and you can feel that at the moment that he finds it out, he changes. And the way that he talks, he's also constantly saying like, I want to destroy Sentinel Prime, I want to make him pay, I want to take his head off. So you can really feel the energy shift. At the moment that he finds out that he's been lied to, he just changes. Towards the back half of the movie, yeah, they get captured by a bunch of rogue Transformers who are also against Sentinel Prime, and I guess those are like the Transformers I was talking about previously that did have cogs, because these guys can transform. They're like rebelling against Sentinel Prime, and one of them is Starscream, played by Steve Buscemi, really fun. But Megatron just beats the hell out of Starscream, almost shoots his head off, decides not to do it, and declares himself the leader of the so-called rogues, or I think what they will be in the next movie, Decepticons. It was really nice to see like the interaction between and the fight scene between Megatron and Starscream, and I think they will have good chemistry, so I'm really excited to see those two interact more in the next movie. Towards the ending of the film, basically Megatron and all of his Decepticons, they get captured by Sentinel Prime, and then it's Optimus Prime with some leftover Transformers, and he also gets all of the miners to all rebel against Sentinel Prime, and they all have like this big coup, and they're fighting against Sentinel Prime. Oh, there's also this really dope scene scene where Megatron is captured by Sentinel Prime, like in cuffs, and Megatron cannot move, and Sentinel Prime is just beating the heck out of him, like really bad stuff. And there's even a point where he takes a blowtorch and he gives him a big Decepticon logo scar on his chest. Really brutal. There's some pretty brutal stuff in this movie for a kids film. So I really liked how they pushed the boundaries, because of course they are robots, so they are allowed to be decapitated. And because they don't have blood, it's oil or I don't know what they have in their veins, in their pipes I should say. But yeah, that torture scene is dope. But then Optimus Prime comes to the rescue, and then there's this big fight scene. But then you get to the real juicy part. Megatron is freed, and he's about to kill Sentinel Prime, and everybody sees it. They're all looking at him. It's like on a big monitor. Everybody is staring at it, and it's basically Megatron holding his big gun barrel to Sentinel Prime, and then Optimus Prime starts giving his speech. One thing to be a hero, like the Deadpool speech. Yeah, basically Optimus Prime is telling him, Megatron, if you kill him, you are not better than him. But at the same time, that doesn't make any sense, because it's the same with like Avatar Last Airbender. You murder all of the Fire Nation guys, but then when you get to the main bad guy who caused all of it, you're just like, don't kill him. You're better. You're better than the rest. You literally killed hundreds of other Transformers to get to this guy, and those guys, they're just doing what they're told. And then you get to the real bad guy, and then you're gonna be like, show mercy. No, don't show mercy. So yeah, Megatron's like, what? Get out of here, man. Get out of here, Optimus Prime. What are you talking about, you know? And I agree. So he gets ready. He wants to shoot a Sentinel Prime. And then Optimus Prime jumps in front of it like an idiot, and he gets shot, and basically like his entire left side of his body is gone. Like he's basically dead, and he falls off like a cliff. And then Megatron grabs his only hand and he looks Optimus Prime in the eyes. You think for a moment he's gonna pull him up, but then he says, Optimus Prime, I'm done saving you. And he drops his ass. And I was like, what? That's one of the most epic, like, crazy villain scenes since like the first Lion King. Fucking crazy. That was so gnarly, man. Like Megatron didn't play around. Like he dropped his best friend. They were day one best friends. And yeah, so Optimus Prime gets dropped into like basically the core of Cybertron, and then he meets like the creator of Cybertron, I guess. And because he did his self-sacrifice, the I don't know how this, no, well, basically the planet decides like, you are worthy to be the next Prime, and then he changes his name from Orion Pax or whatever it was to Optimus Prime, and he gets the energy core and he transforms into a real Optimus Prime, which was really dope. And of course then he kicks Megatron's ass, and Megatron and all the Decepticons, they flee, which will lead to the next sequel. After that scene, they show a moment where they show the first time that Megatron and Optimus Prime meet, and it's just like two buddies, and they basically make a promise to each other that they would like look out for each other. So at the same time, it's like really harsh in like how far the characters are willing to go, but these are real characters and it did start as friends. So I think that's like a really dope way to go. And Megatron, yeah, too bad he joined the dark side, but Megatron is doing what in his opinion is right, but I think he's just like he went a little bit crazy, because in this movie Megatron just broke. He had the feeling that his entire life he had been lied to, and he had been lied to. So yeah, I'm really positive about this film, and I love the story. The one thing, yeah, the animation wasn't the best, but the story and the script were great. I do think that this movie is in Oscar contention this year for Best Animated Movie, and I hope it wins. I enjoyed it more than the new Inside Out movie, and Josh Cooley did a great job. DOOMBOT out. Have a good day. Namaste.